The Fisher Body Plant. Built in 1919 within the city of Detroit, it provided thousands upon thousands of jobs for many people all across Michigan. It was a way for people to make something out of themselves and provide for their family.
That is a modern automobile body. One new body every 3 seconds. 1,200 every working hour by one company alone. How does it happen? Year after year, this ever-continuing cycle of new, high-quality automobile bodies for General Motors cars? The answer can be found by looking to the body builders from Fisher.
So, on this final episode of this season, join me as we explore and dive into the history of the Fisher Body Plant. This factory has seen a lot in its time. Originally, it was designed with glass to wrap around the entire building, allowing natural light to fill it. Unfortunately now, only 50% of it remains as the building decays. Inside, paint begins to chip off the walls, and it's unfortunately left with bare elements like snow, rain, and the cold. Now the building is falling apart. The one thing that you'll notice as you begin to travel throughout the Fisher Body Plant is the way that the wind travels throughout every single room. It sounds almost as if voices from the past are trying to tell you the stories within, the way that the work environments were. Not only that, but you'll hear metal sheeting hitting up against cement, making it sound as if several people, are walking, like the building is coming alive once again. Unfortunately, like many other places in Detroit, this building will never live and breathe like it once did. This is only one out of 70,000 buildings and vacant locations within the city. Okay, looks like we're going to climb up this. Alright, well, the first few steps to success have been taken. You have to be really careful in the beginning. Kind of, take a second to listen to everything going on and to make sure that you're not hearing footsteps or just checking around to make sure it's safe. But I climbed up this entire thing over here. Over here is the other side of where they used to paint different car parts. This red layer over here, it was basically the assembly line. We'll get to there in a second. Over here is just completely destroyed. The roof has collapsed in on itself. This used to lead to another room, I'm assuming, but this whole structure has completely fallen apart. And it appears that there's a room still intact over there. There's a table over there. I'm gonna try and get into it without killing myself. I think I should be able to enter it through over here. Yep. The room is just full of cabinets and just this here table. Other than that, whatever else there used to be is gone now. If there was extended room, it's gone. It's destroyed. Not sure what all this is over here, all this white stuff, but you can see it trailing all the way down the pillars. And if you look closely up on these walls over here, you can see them creating ice formations almost. They're not ice, that's for sure. Here's where the old elevator shaft used to be until I believe it got removed. Very windy over here. Looks like this room over here used to be another assembly room for people to place pieces together, because right here it looks like there used to be a table, or at least something that, or it came from up here on the ceiling. But by the looks of it, there used to be several different rooms over here. You can see different pieces of wood that are still standing that used to be walls, but they're all torn apart now. So either one, it was an assembly room, or two, they might have been offices. I had to get out of that room, it was too windy. What's amazing is that you can still see the tile that was once on the floor over here. And over here is the assembly line for spray paint and whatever else they place onto the vehicles as far as weather sealant and other things. Over here, it looks like there's a packing material storage. There's some weird alarm going off. I think it's the business over there, but yep. So over here is what appears to be the area where they used to give vehicles different paint layers, such as primer and other things. There's still a door right over here. Probably to watch the inside to make sure things were going all right. The floor is completely broken down over here. There's all kinds of insulation over here that's littering the ground. And a bunch of fuse boxes as well, alongside the assembly line over here. So we got one right over here. A reset button. And this appears to be boxes that are full of something. I'm not sure exactly what. Quincy's Stamping and MF Co. North Adams, Michigan. This is an entire assembly line over here. So things like car doors or car hoods would just go through here and they'll be colorized. Even to the point where there was a window to kind of oversee what was going on within the assembly line to make sure things were going all right. And this looks like it used to be a door because you see the hinge on there. Not exactly sure though. Fuck the free world. You see the pipes over here, they're cover them whatever that white stuff is again. Over there, this white thing looks like it's just a bunch of pipes. Probably for all the different types of paint that they have. Well, did have. Another fuse box over here. All kinds of different switches. And then that. Gonna continue along our way. Probably check out a little bit more of this assembly line over here. Whole bunch of holes on the side where there used to be sheeting that covered up the area, but have been either taken down by looters or just fell apart over the years. Unfortunately, this happens to be the case way too often. It's almost impossible to recognize any type of structures within the building because of scrappers, graffiti artists, and of course deterioration over time. But with a little research, it's completely possible to imagine what it was like. Unfortunately, these photos do not tell the complete story of the Fisher Body Plant. For example, it once served as a homeless shelter for people during the Great Depression. And during World War II, the factory was used, like many others, to create military parts for military plants. Unfortunately, after the war, the factory had lost its touch. It resorted to creating parts for limousines and ambulances because the factory was beginning to fall behind in technology. This, of course, would be one of the many reasons the factory had its downfall. We got this big open area over here. Now for those who didn't catch this, that rectangular space in the floor was actually shown in the beginning of this video. It was used to lower down vehicles from that floor to the floor below it. This was an easier way of transporting vehicles from one part of the building to another. We got a room over here, maybe an office. Over here, it's probably where there used to be another elevator shaft, because it goes all the way up. I don't see any wires though that would connect a elevator too. Over here we got another open area. Some old glasses. And look over here. Looks like we still got some possible paint that was from the original assembly line. And the floor over here seems to be slowly degrading, which is why you have to be careful in a lot of these places, because you'll be walking and all of a sudden something right underneath your feet that's supposed to be stable just collapses, and that's it for you. Still got a fan over there going. All this white stuff is along the floor, creating small puddles of whatever it is. I'm gonna have to research it later. As it turns out, with a little research, those white icicle formations are actually inflorescence, which is a mixture of salt and water that begins to drip down from the ceiling after rain or even melting snow, and it creates white icicle formations that you'll see throughout the entire building.
Just nothing but open windows. Looks like it's time to go up another floor. Just gotta be careful on steps because I don't know if they'll end up collapsing or anything. This area up here is just completely open. Endless windows and it may have possibly been a part of a assembly line. Yeah, see over here. It might have been for heating up, well, drying out the paint is what I'm assuming is for. We got several of them, one over here too. There just appears to be a random mattress over here. I don't think it says anything on there, at least anything that's eligible. Over here is a complete massive ventilation system. Like I said, this floor is most likely possibly used to dry off the paint that was placed onto the vehicles down below that floor. From the looks of it, there isn't much on this floor. Over here though, there's a metal box. Yeah, it's another assembly line. Something needs to go through here. As for what it was, I'm not sure. Here's another area that has a bunch of lights on the side like the other ones I saw. But from over here, you can see that there's some type of ventilation. So I'll say it again, I do believe that this area over here was used for drying out the these were down on the lower level, but I have no clue what they were used for. It appears as if they're kind of like sinks, because in every single one I've seen, there's always a hole in the middle. So I have no clue. And I don't think you can see it, but there's a pipe. Yeah, there's a pipe right there. So I don't know. Over here, there's some old windows that still remain. That are casting a blue tint onto the pillars and the walls before it. The wind is unbelievable over here. Over here there's an entire hallway and it's very windy. These look like possibly bathrooms. Yep, bathrooms. Those are toilets in the back, or at least what used to be toilets. There's a closet. There's nothing really in these rooms. They're all completely empty. But there's graffiti all over these walls. There isn't much of what used to be here left. Just empty rooms and the assembly lines. I'm gonna go up the next floor. Alright. To the next floor we go. You hear cops coming. This floor's completely empty. Oh my god, it's nothing but a wind chamber down here. Nothing but open windows. I'm just gonna skip this floor. Too much wind, and there appears to be really nothing over here. It's not as windy over here, but you can still feel it. There's just nothing but dangling pieces of wire that used to hold whatever it is that they used to hold. What is nice though is that you can see the entire city from here. Detroit is all the way down there. At least the downtown Detroit, but it appears that there's nothing on this floor as well. I'll go all the way down to the, well, actually never mind. Looks like there's a piece in assembly over here. Yep. This over here is another piece of the assembly line that, or it appears to be possibly old engines or the power supply. There's old warning signs on there that you can't read anymore. Over here you have another one of those bowls. It appears that every floor seems to have one. And I am very curious to find out what that was used for. And this is probably an old bathroom. The tiling is green, but here's a warning sign over here. Confined space permit required. And over here seems to be some shelving. Yep, not much over here. Alright. Gonna go on to the next floor now. Now, from what I've seen online, the very last floor, well, I can barely talk, my lips are getting cold, but the very last floor is the most interesting one because it holds one of the more photogenic assembly lines. Oh crap. I just heard a big door close. That was creepy. Now I'm not exactly sure which floor we're on, but I do believe this one is the one that everyone comes here for. And there's all kinds of rooms over here and assembly lines, and even this crane. There's just all kinds of wiring and ladders and equipment that was just completely left behind, and now it's just all falling apart. I'm not sure what this is. But they look like giant heaters. There's all kinds of glass on the ground. Nice little window up there. There's all kinds of railing and I don't see any carts or pushing. The rails are right here. It appeared that they had them pushed all the way through here, and there isn't just one rail, but several. There's one over here. And there's one over here as well. At least part of it. But they'd go all throughout this entire floor. This is just astonishing. And it feels so massive compared to the other rooms because it just feels like a maze with all the different equipment that's left here. The wind is honestly ridiculous. It's just shoving all kinds of equipment that's on the wall all over the place. Over here's more railing. But honestly, look at this astonishing view that you can get from the window. Just endless rooms over here that were probably occupied by offices, and over here there even appears to be a bathroom right back there. I don't feel like going in there though, it's kind of scary. Unfortunately, this whole area is littered with garbage and debris. Oh yeah, these were definitely offices. I mean, there's all kinds of small rooms over here. Don't appear to have anything, but they were used at some point in time. Everything over here is just swinging back and forth. Crap. Looks like these are a bunch of windows to peer outside of the office that you worked in. No. This here is a room. This one right here. The way that the rails are set up, they come from the assembly line over here, and then they make their way all the way down there. This is probably the most complete part of the assembly line that I've seen throughout the entire building. It's incredible.
As I walk throughout the final assembly floor, I begin to see the mass production that took place here once. And looking into its history, I found out that in the beginning of Fisher's rise to fame, GM had originally owned about 60% of the company, but later would buy off the remaining 40%. Of course, this place was used to paint and create car bodies. Although, aside from that, in the time from 1919 till its closure in 1984, this factory would have multiple achievements in its time. For example, slanted windshields for less glare in 1930, one-piece steel turret-top roofs in 1934, dual windshield wipers in 1936, and General Motors' first unibody car in 1960. Lastly, the ignition interlock system and first airbag for General Motors in 1974. Unfortunately, even with all of this factory's great success, it would be shut down not only because of the technology failing to keep up with production, but because General Motors wanted to save more money by shipping companies overseas and relying more on technology and less on human work.
This whole area is just absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. This entire area is just outstanding. I mean, it's like being inside the Titanic or something, minus the water, but just to be able to be a part of what used to be history, something that used to be something that used to mean something to the people of Detroit. it's almost as if you feel like you're a part of what the people used to do here, building cars and it's just absolutely incredible that you're able to see the city from here. This appears to be a small cubicle for the employees, or probably whoever the boss was at the time. Got a nice open window over here. These look like they used to be some type of stairs that would lead up there, that we can walk around the top, observe the process of whatever it was that was going on. Just all kinds of endless ventilation systems and tracks that just go all over the place. There's a ladder over here. I'm gonna try and climb on it. We'll see if I end up falling or something. But I do want to see what it's like to be on top over here. Come on. I'm gonna be pissed if I fall. Well, my knife just fell, so if I need help, then I'm fucked. This entire thing is just completely unstable, but there's some moving parts over here. There's another one right there as well. Alright, well, I'm gonna try and get onto the roof. Let's see if the door is blocked or not. We'll go up there and see what it looks like from above. This here is a roof. Now I do gotta be careful over here because on my way up I did see that a lot of the floor down below is collapsing. That's the unfortunate thing about these places getting older, is you're very uncertain of what will happen, what can happen. There's another floor over here. I'm gonna see if I can get into there. Tower over there. And this is where we're gonna be heading. Alright. Here's yeah, this is the floor that I can see was clearly falling apart down below. So we're gonna have to watch our step. The floor is just completely covered with wood, which is probably why it's sinking so easily after all these years of neglect. This entire room is once again empty, and I'm not sure exactly what it was used for. I mean, there's this area over here.
Although in the moment I wasn't completely sure what this room was, later after a little research I came to find out that it was used to customize different types of furniture, any color you want, as well as any style.
Over here you could clearly see that the floor just completely gave out. There used to be a room that right in this area covered by brick, but that floor is not looking too hot. Yeah, and over here you can see where the holes are starting to build up. I'm gonna climb out there over this. Oh, never mind. Yeah. The floor is seriously not a good idea to walk on, so I'm gonna try and get over here, see if I can climb out.
So, after 3 hours of wandering and exploring this building, it's time to head home, review the footage, and, of course, do a little bit more research. After editing and putting this video together, it's nearly impossible to prevent yourself from reflecting on what you saw. Detroit and the Fisher Body Plant used to be a symbol of the true raw manpower that was produced in these factories, the true ruggedness of the civilization. The men were willing to fight for a better future. They worked alongside the union to get better pay, shorter hours, and be able to spend more time with their family. But because of the selfishness of Detroit and its top CEOs, GM, Ford, and Chrysler let the city fall into ruins. Families were destroyed. People lost out. And if we do not learn from our mistakes in the past, we are not going to prevent terrible incidents from occurring in the future. Detroit is what America will become if we let ourselves become greedy.
Well, I've made it out. Now it's time for me to go home. That was nerve-wracking. Anytime I'm by myself, it's, uneasy, but we did it.
So with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching my video. I look forward to making more of these, but as for now, the season is officially ended. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Leave some comments as well if you have any advice. I'm more than welcome to other people's opinions. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video.